Guys, I think the pasta goes next to the macaroons. Okay, so there's lettuce.
That's what it sounded like when the grade 5 class from Toronto's Leo Beck Day School spent the morning at Beth Emeth Synagogue Social Hall, packing tins of mandarin oranges and matzah and all in all about 30 Passover grocery items into cardboard boxes. These will be destined for delivery to 3,000 needy Jewish households this week. The kids were volunteering at the annual Passover food drive run by the National Council of Jewish Women of Canada's Toronto branch. And this year, it's their 40th year of the project. So it's a milestone, but not when the organizers are celebrating. Just the opposite. They're sad about it. They wish they weren't needed. But with COVID these past few years raising the need, and now inflation on top of that making grocery prices soar, their case numbers have risen 30% over last year when they handed out only 2,300 boxes. That's the highest they've ever had and includes hundreds of elderly Holocaust survivors who didn't need it until now. And also Ukrainian immigrants. It's a situation being repeated this week all across Canada.
And I've had people call in and put in their quote unquote orders with me. Can we request this? Can we request that? I mean, some items are $4 more per item, whether it's instant coffee, or I have a few people who want jarred gefilte fish. And that's an incredible cost increase. And it does definitely impact what we can get for people.
I'm Ellen Besner, and this is what Jewish Canada sounds like for Monday, March the 27th, 2023. Welcome to the CJN Daily, a podcast of the Canadian Jewish News, sponsored by Metropia. Well, I'm sure you've noticed the prices for Passover food products in the stores. Last week, I saw a frozen lemon meringue cake that was selling for $55 at a kosher Sobeys in Thornhill. It was actually $44 just across town at Anthony's, no frills. And 2 years ago, that same cake was selling for just $29.99. Now, I thought, this is crazy. I'll make my own. But even gefilte fish and other staples are up by several dollars this year. Jewish agencies are seeing that impact on their donations too, so it's costing Jewish agencies about $10 or $20 more to fill a Passover box than last year. That's why they're grateful to get financial help from government, from donors, and from federations. We'll hear firsthand from the front lines coming right up after this message.
During World War II, the Nazis began a little-known program of extermination for their own children. In Peter Klonotz's new mystery thriller, The Unwanted, 14-year-old Hannah Ziegler is being driven by her grandfather and her psychiatrist to a euthanasia center. 16-year-old Silke Hartenstein graces the cover of Nazi propaganda magazines. Avi Kreisler is a Munich police detective rounded up for Dachau. And a patrician father hopes his son David McAuliffe will be elected the first Catholic president of the United States. In The Unwanted, in the aftermath of war, revenge brings these four people together in ways unimaginable. The Unwanted. Do not skip to the last page. Find it at Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
And joining me now are Shelley Feldman and Gail Crystal. They're with the National Council of Jewish Women's Operation in Toronto. And then we'll have Linda Schwartz present. She manages Ottawa's Kosher Food Bank. So this is the 40th anniversary of National Council of Jewish Women's program. How are you marking it, or is there anything specific that is being done this year?
Well, it's not an anniversary like you'd say, yay, whoopee, we've done this for 40 years. No. It's actually a sad anniversary. It's 40 years of people being hungry and needing food, and unfortunately the numbers keep going up instead of down, so it's not like this is going to go away. If anything, it will increase if the economy and the cost of food continues. And on the flip side of that, it's 40 years of the Jewish community taking care of these people and making sure that they have their food for Pesach and their Seders, so that they can enjoy their Pesach like the rest of us and can come to the table with a Seder and a nice meal.
Are you seeing the increase in numbers among the Ukrainian refugees who have come? What are you seeing?
Yes, we did definitely, and we adjusted one of our greetings to include Ukrainian on our Happy Passover greeting, and it has Hebrew, Russian, and Ukrainian. So Jewish immigration aid does tell us that there are quite a number of Ukrainian refugees that we are going to be supporting this Pesach. In addition, this year had a huge influx of Holocaust survivors. We weren't even aware that there were that many Holocaust survivors here in the city. And so we received a list with this extra number tipping us from around the 2,200 all the way up to almost 3,000 names. So we're at least happy in the sense that we can help them out. We didn't know if we would have the resources or the capacity to do so, and we're pleased that we can help them out.
We were discussing this the other day, and we feel that it was suggested that one of the reasons we now have this list is that these people have all aged into the system. 20 years ago, they were functioning 70-year-olds or 65-year-olds, and now they're 85 through 90 to 90 and over. And so now they're getting help from the different communities and services like Circle of Care, like Bernard Battelle, where beforehand they were not in this age group.
Okay, so do you train them first, or is there something that they teach? Okay, so show me how that works.
Shelley developed this demo box, and so they could see the ideal packing of a box. So she gave them a great little intro just a few minutes ago, and there were a lot of questions.
So what did you tell them, Shelley?
First of all, I asked them why they came, and this group, the kids automatically said to pack food for those who don't have and who need food. And then we talked about the history that National Council of Jewish Women started this project 40 years ago with just a few hundred boxes. And now last year was 2,300 boxes, as you know, and this year we're up to 3,000. So just wanted to give them an idea how more people need now than they did back in 1983. And it's a hard concept for kids to understand because they're fed and they just go to the fridge and help themselves whenever they're hungry, and their parents make sure. But there's people that they probably all know that are having issues with food security because of the cost, which is especially high this year. We purchase all of this food from the distributors, and I know our bills are much, much higher, so our fundraising needs to be even more to cover the costs of the increase of food this year.
How much more is it from last year, either of you?
Last year, the food also went up, and we had some costs for delivery and for packing the boxes that we had a company do because of COVID. So our costs this year, our foods are higher. I would think probably about $30,000 to $50,000 more.
At least 20% more per product even. When I compare the cost of the box versus some years ago, it's gone up significantly.
$90 per box. $90 per box.
For the items inside the box. And it was at least $20 less a few years ago.
Yes. So last year was also $90?
No. It was probably a little less, probably $80. We try to bring in pre-packs from the store, but being right after COVID and people are out of sync of the getting of the free packs and purchasing them, that we find this year we're getting less than we used to.
So what do you mean by free packs? Like when people have a box when they go shopping, there's a big collection and it says for National Council of Jewish Women?
There's a bag usually on the supermarket checkout counter, and it's prepared. And the people put in the food, and they try to keep it at a price around 20 or under so that people will buy it. And inside are items that we told them we needed.
Or maybe they can't afford to do it this year because prices are so high anyway. Are you finding that?
We're finding more distribution problems. I can't speak for prices. They do seem to be down, so maybe people don't have that extra $20 anymore. They need it for themselves and their families.
And joining us now from Ottawa is Linda Schwartz-Present. Welcome to the CJN Daily.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Okay, talk to me about any things that you've noticed in the recent months In terms of the numbers of clients you're seeing, the need, I know last year, for example, across the board for Passover, and I'm not saying this was true for Ottawa, but for other Jewish communities, their need was up about 20% across the board. And that was because of COVID and poverty. This year, the whole country is worried about high grocery prices, and Passover prices is always even more crazy. What do you see in Ottawa?
So we actually are seeing the same thing, unfortunately. The cost of food is increased. I mean, the inflation is tremendous, and many people are affected by it. So we put together two things. We have a program called Sponsor a Family. The Ottawa Kosher Food Bank does this. It's called Sponsor a Family. Some people sponsor 2 families. Some people just give a flat rate. It's an event that people can donate to for Pesach for the clients. And generally what it was previously was $100 per family. And that would cover all the costs of all the items that we're giving everybody for Passover. Due to inflation, we had to increase that price to $120 per family. No one is surprised by that with the cost of everything going up. And in addition to that, the clients who qualify, which is almost all of our clients, they will be getting additional gift cards to a supermarket, to a local supermarket, where they are able to actually go and pick out and choose their own items that they need. You know, some people have different types of allergies. So in terms of numbers, it's really been, it's quite sad. I'm so grateful that I have the support that I do, and I have people I can reach out to. Yet I feel for so many people in the community that are truly, truly experiencing food insecurity. And our numbers have gone up 20% just since January. Whereas when I first started 2 years ago, we had 111 clients, and I'm now up to, I believe it's 131 as of 2 days ago. From the start of 2023 until now, I have had 10 new clients join me, which is generally what I get in a year. So,
and are they Ukrainian refugees? Who are these people?
Great question. So I did get an influx of probably about a handful of new clients, but that was more in the fall, between, say, September and December. 1 or 2 of the older couples that we got recently are actually from, they're originally Russians via Israel. They've been living in Israel for many, many years. And the rest of them are locals. And as we know, Chesed starts at home. We need to help the local people just as well as many as the other people who are joining us from other countries.
Are you seeing an increase in aging Holocaust survivors that now age out and age up, I guess, and need more because they're not earning any money or what have you?
Yes. So I would say probably about 40% of my clientele are older Holocaust survivors, and we want them here, as we know, as long as we can have them. And unfortunately, they need the services, but thank God we are here, and I'm more than happy to help them with whatever we can.
Okay, one final thing. So you're doing the Passover distribution on top of the regular monthly, or did that, it takes press, they don't get the usual box, like for April, but they get both. They get 2.
They're getting both. They're getting both for March and April. So we have a distribution this Monday, and I will be giving everybody their regular distribution, their regular gift cards and Pesach cards. People need these products. I can't just give Pesach products. It's going to be very busy next week, and our second distribution for Pesach is on Sunday, April 2nd. And I'm so grateful that I can give out as many of the products that we're giving. Don't forget, we also give out non-perishables in terms of like toiletries and things. So it's across the board. People get their non-perishables, whether it's cereal, pasta, cereal, crackers, things like that. We give out raw chicken and raw ground beef, milk, eggs, sometimes juice. We give out produce, toothbrushes, toothpaste, feminine products, incontinence pads, shampoo. I have a volunteer, a good friend who's like this extreme couponer who gets me tons of shampoo and body wash and dish soap and all sorts of amazing things for my products. I put in my order to her, and please God, with between the 2 of them and, you know, the regular distribution plus the Passover products, people will be taken care of for the next little bit, please God.
And that's what Jewish Canada sounds like for this episode of the CJN Daily, sponsored by Metropia. Integrity, community, quality, and customer care. Today's listener shout-out goes to Emmy Gershon in Thornhill. And we'll end the episode with these words from 11-year-old Lev Weinstein and his friend 10-year-old Josh Cates. They're in grade 5 at Leo Beck, and they explain why they came out to stuff boxes for needy people at Passover.
Well, our motivation is to obviously help people who can't have a Seder on Passover. And,
How does it make you feel what you're doing?
It's awesome. It's awesome. Because I want everyone to practice the religion and have Passover and have fun and eat amazing foods. And if you can't afford that, then, well, I want to change that.
And what about yourself? Do you know anybody who's not able to afford Passover food?
Personally, no, but I'm sure that there are many who can't, and it's kind of sad that they can't because they want to follow their religion. So I guess that by making these boxes, it sort of helps them stay in touch with their religion because they can't, but they want to.